In progress.
Hello, and welcome back to the Bonehead Sports Podcast episode, I don't know. And we are 15. We're having our NBA episode for the playoffs. And we are going to be talking about the conference finals, the results of that, some free agent news, and the finals that are to come. Mm-hmm. So I guess we can start off with just get the free agent stuff out of the way. Might as well. So only two big players and a coach has happened. Actually, I learned something last night as well. We can talk about for a coach.
Okay. One of the bigger names, Zach LaVine. I don't know if he's restricted or unrestricted free agent, but I know he's a free agent. He's gonna be a free agent this year. A lot of he said previous things where he wants to go to he would be willing to play for the Lakers.
He's an unrestricted free agent.
Yeah, so he could go wherever.
Uh-huh.
And if he leaves the Bulls, that kind of just leaves them not in a good place.
Yeah, I mean they still have some good guys, but losing someone like Zach, who's pretty versatile now, I think he said year 8 in his career, he can shoot now, which is a big plus. But I guess leave them space. It does leave them with cap space, so they can sign more role players and just have it to be like the Lamar, Lonzo, and what's his name, White show. Which I mean, those are all 3 good players, so I wouldn't be too afraid.
Gonna get older. It's the same thing with Jimmy Butler, where they play the same kind of way.
Jimmy Butler's just more efficient.
Yeah.
He can shoot a little bit more better. Not even a little better, way better from in the 3.
Yeah. I don't know about way better.
I think it's based off recently, but I feel like it's Jimmy also is clutch god. We gotta give him props, which we will later. But he is a soldier.
Where would you like to see Zach LaVine go?
I would say the Lakers because I think he's from there, but I don't think anything going there right now is good. It's not really a good situation there. There's not a lot of great spots. Maybe back to Minnesota.
Maybe.
Well, Ant's there. So I don't know. But Ant's there. I don't know if Ant want to play point guard. I mean, they need because he's more of a scorer. The Heat won't work.
Why wouldn't it work?
Because they're looking at Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't want to.
I mean, but if you could get a dude. Actually, Donovan Mitchell's probably better than.
Yeah, I think Donovan Mitchell is better than Zach. I think Zach LaVine's a great player. He had some great runs this year, but I don't.
Not in the playoffs.
Not in the playoffs. No, he was kind of ass the whole playoff or the first round at least.
My camera's wanting to
focus
on me. It just keeps
That's fine.
Lighting.
Just don't move. You'll be okay.
I'll just sit like this the entire time.
I don't know where would be the best place for him to go. I feel honestly, Chicago is the best place. I was gonna say the Knicks, but anyone go to the Knicks because they're not a great organization. Got it. Atlanta.
Atlanta. Interesting.
Him and Trey, I feel would be a really good duo. Maybe have John Collins. That sounds fun. That's a fun duo.
But I don't know. I mean, they kind of need people to help their defense, and Zach LaVine's probably.
Yeah, he's not great, but you can sign some bench guys. Who could be rotating platoon them throughout the lineup, and you can sign some. Because I don't think they have a small forward.
Yeah.
Well, they have Cam Reddish, but I mean.
Cam Reddish is okay.
And Kevin Knox, but Kevin Knox is no. They traded Cam Reddish. I'm sorry, they traded Cam Reddish for Kevin Knox. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I think if they adding Zach LaVine is not a detriment to the team. I think he's gonna help. He will bring wins to that Atlanta team. But sorry, something just went by my window. But I think that'd be the best place, Atlanta, because I mean you probably play with Trae Young, who passes all the time. And he's a good scorer as well. He expands the floor, give him more range to do whatever he wants, really. Because when you have someone on your team like DeMar or Lonzo, and I don't really think Kobe White's that great of a shooter, who don't shoot too much, it really limits your offensive capabilities because you can't. You have we're just gonna protect more inside because the mid range is gonna be eliminated basically. So it's gonna lower your production down. When you have someone on your team like Trae Young, who takes so much of a offensive presence, make their defense suffocate him, it's gonna help both of them because Zach LaVine's a great scorer. His mid range is good. Obviously his finishing is insane. His shooting's improved through the years, so I feel like that would be very good for both of them.
Yeah.
And hope John Collins, because John Collins have more open looks.
That would definitely make Atlanta a little bit more competitive, but I don't think that that would be the move to push them over. Like,
maybe a wild card. I think they'd be our plan. I think they could be a plan.
They're playing this year.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't really be much of an improvement.
Yeah, I think they would have a better chance though, instead of playing like abysmal when they did. Because in playoff basketball is just different, and they know your weaknesses. Just stop Trey, we win the game, and that's what they did.
I think the best situation for the Heat would probably be trading for Donovan.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of rumors going around now, but that basically, honestly, all they would offer like Tyler Hero.
I was thinking Robinson.
Someone else. Well, Tyler Hero is more valuable.
Yeah, but I don't think
And he wants to be a starter. And he's
That's
not
true.
Gonna be a starter on the Heat.
That's true. Well, I just feel like trading him would be like a detriment to them because he's such a bench presence, though. I mean, you get Donovan, but like as a bench role now, it's just the way your team's gonna be run is completely different. You know.
I mean, their bench is fine. Like,
it's fine.
Missing Tyler Hero won't really.
I mean, you won 6-man.
Much. I mean, yeah.
You don't just win 6-man of the year, you know.
He's a starter on the bench, like.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think he's a great player. I think he has a lot of potential in the league, but I also think his career is still really young. I think he can use some time. Maybe not the starting position yet. He can definitely do it.
The Heat don't have time.
Yeah, that's true. They're an older team.
That's what this would be. Is like we have the roster. We need the scorer. Let's get Donovan Mitchell, win a chip, or at least because like they were so close this year without Donovan Mitchell. Like, imagine if they had Donovan Mitchell. I feel like they would be in the finals.
Even without Donovan Mitchell, they had a good
They were one shot away from
the
finals, which they were in the finals a couple years ago, lost to the Lakers. But I feel like Donovan Mitchell would basically make them the hard favorites for the East.
Because they have such a he's so good.
And the
he's
Jazz
really
are
good.
looking to probably rebuild anyway.
I'm trying to look at Kyle Lowry's contract and see if they give him flexibility for him in a trade.
Fucking just cut his ass, bro. He's not worth it.
He's not awful. I mean, he's not awful.
In the playoffs, he was.
Well, he's been hurt.
Abysmal.
He was hurt all playoffs. I think he had.
Then play Duncan Robinson.
I know. I don't know why they didn't play him. That's still I do not understand to this day. But
also, before anything else, we lost some footage for the YouTube, so that's why.
Yeah, for last episode.
There's not. That's
scared me.
We haven't been uploading there as much as, but everything's still on Spotify and iTunes. The TikTok content has been quite lacking. I'm not gonna lie. I just keep like putting it off, but I'm gonna try to start doing more of that. Maybe Joaquin will hop on the TikTok.
I mean, we'll see. I fucking hate TikTok.
You hate TikTok?
Yeah, I just use it for memes. I don't know what to do. You know.
You just say your opinions.
Yeah.
That's all you gotta do.
That's true.
Upload shit from the show. Honestly.
Yeah, I could just do
that. You have the footage for it.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking about asking you to do like our whole Would You Rather James Harden edition.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I should do that. That'd be a good one. When I looked at sorry, let me just go back to what we were talking about for Kyle Lowry's contract. I don't see anything about him having a no trade clause. But it's just, I mean, it would work. Trade Kyle Lowry, Oladipo draft picks for Donovan Mitchell. That would work.
But they're not gonna want Kyle Lowry for his contract.
I mean, yeah, but I think the Utah Jazz about to blow it up.
Yeah.
Because what I mentioned earlier, I'm about to sneeze. Give me a second. Let me mute.
But also, like, reports have been coming out that Toronto are the front runners for Rudy Gobert right now.
Really?
Which is honestly perfect for them. They need a big, and
I don't think they have Marc. They saw Marc Gasol.
Marc Gasol retired.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, duh.
That dude was like 40.
Yeah.
But I honestly, he was one of my original picks for Rudy Gobert, or the Raptors were one of my original picks for Rudy Gobert to go.
It's fitting. Because I also saw that Anunoby is unhappy there apparently.
Yeah. He
But
fits their like
tall, lengthy lineup.
all lengthy lineup.
Yeah.
He plays good defense. He can be dominant in the rim. Given he's being passed to Donovan Mitchell.
I think like a legitimate thing is what his stance on COVID restrictions are, because Canada's way more like restrictive.
And living in Canada. I mean, he's French. There's French people in Canada.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about that. Stuff's all fine. He'll fit in fine.
Yeah.
But it's just like the restrictions they have with COVID. That's what would wonder if that would play into it at all.
I mean, he's vaccinated, so
True.
I don't think he would.
It wouldn't matter then.
It wouldn't matter.
Yeah, he did play there against them. So I mean.
Yeah.
What I was saying about the Jazz is that Quinn Snyder, their head coach, is in limbo for what his job would be there. A report came out last night from Woj, and basically saying that the GM, they don't really know if they want him or not, so they're trying to figure it out. So I think if they lose Quinn Snyder, they're just gonna blow it up, like just ground zero.
I mean, if Quinn Snyder left, I assume he'd get a job somewhere. Like,
oh yeah, he will
really
for sure.
fast. Like he's
for
still
sure.
a great coach. It just happened to not work out with the Jazz.
Even if he's like an assistant coach, sure. Like that's not really a downgrade because you're still in the league. You're just waiting for a position.
Yeah.
You know, I think he would definitely get a job somewhere.
Yeah.
I think he initially was assistant coach.
I think he was probably
Maybe. Career. Let's see. He's American. I thought I said Australian. I was like, that's a shock.
Are you American?
Are you in good hands? Head coach. Okay, well that's college. Don't care about that. Oh no, he's actually only been with Utah his whole career as a head coach. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean as a head coach, yeah.
Yeah, I mean as a coach at all. I mean.
Okay.
He went straight from Missouri. I think he had a couple years off because not saying anything.
I don't think inherently they'd fire him. I think if they.
I'm lying. Lakers.
They could do anything, bro.
Yeah, they can.
They could blow it up. They could try to retool, but
I
don't think the chemistry's there anymore.
I think why they never worked because don't get me wrong, Donovan Mitchell, great player. I think he's very fun to watch. I don't think they expected him to be this good. So then when they drafted him, and I mean he like just tore up the league that rookie year, they're like, okay, well I guess we have a shot now. So let's try to figure out what to do here. Because they were just gonna they had Rudy, and they were gonna see what happens with that. They had some guys, but they weren't really like ever there. They lost Gordon Hayward, so they're like, okay, well I guess it's just time to restart. So then they get Donovan, and he's just, I mean, tearing it up. Like his first year was insane.
He was really good.
Really good. Should have won Rookie of the Year, but Ben Simmons won it. That's besides the point.
Hey, Ben.
We'll get
Ben Simmons slanders.
I think Donovan Mitchell had a better year personally.
I mean, he's a better player, but
it's just Ben Simmons had a way more exciting year. That's all it was. Just because it was 3 years in development.
Sixers were probably better.
Yeah, that's the big reason. But anywho, I just think that that mindset they had, not preparing for this what they had, and then it kind of tainted their, I guess, chance at anything. If that makes sense.
Also, I just think after the multiple playoff heartbreaking losses, that people just gave up on the idea of their chance of winning a final.
If I was Donovan Mitchell, I don't want to get out.
Last year was their best chance. They were the 1 seed.
Yeah.
They were up 3-1.
They were the 1 seed last year?
They were the 1 seed and up 3-1 against the Clippers without Kawhi and
yeah,
lost.
I forgot about that.
Last year was their best shot probably, and they blew it.
And they already had beef. There was already tension there, you know?
I don't know if they would have beat the Suns in the WCF or
who knows,
the Bucks in the finals, but I would have Rudy Gobert would have matched up really well against Giannis
and DeAndre Ayton.
That
kind of what they would have stopped each other, and then it came to the rest of the team.
Speaking of DeAndre Ayton, he's a restricted free agent. I think it ends up being a sign and trade if they don't want to keep him. Which it doesn't seem like they want to keep him.
He doesn't want to be there either.
He doesn't want to because they don't. Their system doesn't really fit the big that he is.
Uh-huh.
He's more of I feel like he's what Dallas needs.
Well, so he does have a qualifying offer. But I think it's up to him accepting it or not.
He wants a max.
Yeah, and they don't give him the max because
They're not gonna give him the max.
I mean he's good, but he's not a max contract player. He's very good.
On the Suns, no. On a different team.
Well, it depends on what the different team is. If it's like a team that has nobody, for sure he'd be a match contract.
Like the Suns don't need a big like DeAndre Ayton, but another team he could be an all-team center. Like
I think he's a great player, but there's a lot of teams that if you put him on somewhere like just example like a Miami, or you put him on a
Dallas.
Dallas.
On a Dallas, he could be like third or second team all team NBA.
He'd be fantastic in Dallas with Luka, but he wouldn't be paid max contract because of Luka. And
they could move it around.
They would lose if you sign him to max contract. You lose your depth, which they kind of surprisingly proved they had in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He should go to Mavs, dude. That'd be nasty.
I also don't think because there's like kind of a rivalry there now, so I don't think that the Suns would be willing to give him up to the Mavericks.
Well, it's not even giving him up.
Offer like a lot
because
plus, they have to sign Jalen Brunson.
He doesn't have a contract for next season, so if he just denies the qualifying offer, he can do whatever he wants. He's a restricted free agent.
Well, he was restricted, which means the Suns can match.
Oh yeah, okay, but then he can't just deny it.
No, that's what a restricted free agent means. That if a team offers him the max, the Suns would have to match it if they want to keep him. But if the Suns want to get value out of that, they sign him and then trade him to that team.
Okay.
That's what how signing trades work.
Okay. Interesting. I thought they could just deny the match. They can't deny. They have to pay him no matter what.
They have if say for some fucking Detroit has money. Let's say Detroit offers him a max contract, which they could do, and it is very possible.
I feel bad for him.
They could sign him to that and then trade him to Detroit and get whatever.
Okay.
And I wouldn't feel horrible for him because they do have Cade Cunningham.
Yeah.
They have a really high first round pick this year. The Pistons do have potential to be competitive, not like good or like. But not
they could be something.
They could be like
scrappy,
fighting for a play-in spot, at least in the East. Because
it could be like a Cleveland situation. Yeah,
actually,
I see that.
The East is gonna. Actually, this is okay. The top, it's like really the top 5 or 6 seeds, and then like everybody else in the East. And like the West next year, I know this is off topic, but like the West next year is gonna be so competitive. You have the Suns.
It's stressful.
You have the Clippers coming back with Kawhi and Paul George. You have the Nuggets getting all 3 of their guys back. Well, Jokic wasn't gone, but their other 2 guys back. You have the Pelicans who are on the come up, and Zion's coming back. You have the Mavericks. You have the Wolves who are only going to get better. You have the Grizzlies, the Warriors. Probably like a team or 2 else.
The Lakers. The Lakers are always something.
That's 10 teams right there. That could be
the whole playoffs.
I could see any of those teams being a top 5 seed. Top 6 seed, any of those teams.
Yeah, it's fucking terrifying.
Like the West is like the West in the NBA is like the AFC in the NFL, where there's 10 teams that could all be vying for a playoff spot at the end of the year.
Yeah, I just don't understand why my 2 favorite teams in sports are in such competitive conference or divisions. It's so annoying.
I mean, the Warriors are fun, bro.
I mean, yeah, but it's just the fact of you have a bad week. That's detrimental to that whole because you go back a couple games, it'll be hard to come make the deficit up. You know what I mean? Like
every game will matter more.
Exactly. Which is exciting. Don't get me wrong, but
it's gonna make for some great basketball. But back, so now we could recap the conference finals.
Do you want to do one game? I do one game. Kind of one series. I do another. You do series. I do series.
Or we could both just say.
We'll talk about it, but you can recap.
So I'll do the East since you are a Warriors fan. I'll let you do it. So Sunday, Game 7, the Celtics defeated the Heat to win the series and go to the finals. Jimmy Butler had like 35 or 37.
They had 40.
He had almost. I don't think he broke 40. I think he was almost 40.
Yeah, you're right.
But Max Strus, his foot was not down. His foot was not down. I watched it like 10 times. His foot was not down.
I just wish there was a different angle.
You know, the really controversial thing about that is that they didn't announce it. They just did it without telling anybody. And you can't just do something like that, because that 3-pointer would have won them the game, and they would be in the finals. But Tatum played pretty good. His efficiency this series was really bad, though.
Yeah.
Really bad.
That says a lot about the Heat.
But good for the Celtics. Good for Tatum. Good for Al Horford, who played 100. He had the longest streak of playoff games without making it a finals with 141.
That's insane, dude.
That's insane.
Crazy. Just to get swept.
They're not gonna get swept.
They're not. I gotta show you a crazy stat that I saw earlier that you might have seen.
Yeah, but no matter what, I think the Warriors are the favorite no matter which team came out of the East. I think the Celtics have a better chance, but I just think the Warriors are playing so well right now that it's gonna be hard to not pick the Warriors to win this series.
So, what's shocking to me is that ESPN did a percentage on their number analytic system, right?
Yeah.
That what the percentage of who would win, like the chance. Celtics, 86% chance
to win the
finals.
Against
means
the Warriors.
Leaves the Warriors to 14.
This is like crazy.
That is, I'm sorry, they're both great. The Celtics are a great team. I love the Warriors. You can't say 86%.
That's like a lot of percent.
That's insane.
That's
like who
ridiculous.
did I do the math for that? Because like I failed math twice.
Who is making these numbers?
What were they using? What were they using? I don't get what they're like.
The argument for that is that the Warriors have probably had the easier schedule.
That's understandable.
Path to the finals.
Yeah, but they still played some good teams. They weren't awful teams. The
Jazz were okay.
The Grizzlies took 2 games. Right?
The Grizzlies could have took 3 games.
Could have took 3.
They had Ja.
Yeah.
The whole series.
But they still were playing great without him. Yeah, Dallas, but Dallas proved they weren't a slouch against the best team in the league. Right?
It's just they didn't match up. They didn't match up well with the Warriors.
I just think it's also 14%, dude. I'm not even saying from a biased perspective. 14, dude.
Plus, the Warriors have home court, which at least and in Game 7 they'll have home court.
Yeah.
Which I imagine a series like this could go to 7.
100%. I don't see it not going to 7.
If it doesn't go to 7, I think Warriors in 6 is the only I don't know. The experience that the Warriors have is so much higher. This is their 6th final in 8 years.
I've seen people been saying on Twitter and stuff that who cares about experience? The Celtics are hot and they're a better team. I'm like, okay, you don't understand how sports work then, because
experience is everything in the playoffs.
Everything in the playoffs, because you're still playing basketball, you're still doing the same exact thing, but the intensity is so high that being able to have that in the moments in the last 3 minutes of a game, that
we can
matters.
Sit here and list off all of the series. The Bulls got hornswoggled. The Grizzlies kind of got clapped.
Kind of.
The Mavericks really did not have that much of a fight against the Warriors. Just those
says something.
Which says something. The Sixers. Maybe they don't have deep playoff experience. So just scenarios like that, especially the finals, it's really hard to make the finals.
It's hard.
LeBron
dude.
made it 8 years in a row.
He's only won. It's also crazy. He's only won 3 out of that.
I mean, yeah.
It's just crazy just to think about that.
One of the best teams. Ever.
2 of the best teams. 3 of the best teams ever, for being honest.
You have. I mean, the 2011 Mavericks series.
That was
what happened there. LeBron fumbled.
Dirk goat is what it means.
The Spurs had a top 5 top 6 player.
No,
10 player.
I saw a thing recently that says that team's a top 10 team of all time.
What, the Spurs?
That Spurs, like, that group of guys they had for that many years, like...
I mean, they had Tim Duncan, Ginobili still,
Parker.
Kawhi Leonard, Parker, like, those are all...
Popovich, not to, like, exclude him.
I mean, he's the best coach of all time.
Yeah.
Like, you can't exclude that.
Uh-huh.
But also... Why am I blanking on the fucking name of the Heat's coach?
Eric Spoelstra.
Eric Spoelstra. There it is. Like, he's also one of the best coaches
For sure.
of all time.
For sure.
But, like, at that point, it wasn't already, like, it wasn't as established.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, if you were in the East between, like, 2011 and 2018, you were not making it to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
It was LeBron.
Even if you were the 1 seed, that multiple times LeBron played the 1 seed in that Eastern Conference Finals,
like, hell,
they still won.
2018, when LeBron had, like,
Nobody.
Nobody.
Dude,
Nobody.
Honestly, that
still got
that year is one of the best basketball performances I've seen from a player. Like,
that's
cause
probably one of the best basketball seasons of all time.
That's what I mean. Yeah, from a whole year, like that was so fun to watch him. Just like it's just him, just ball. You know.
Like if the Finals MVP award wasn't like most of the time going to the winner, LeBron should have won it that series. I know they got swept, but he was definitely the best player in that series.
Yeah, for sure.
It's kind of sad. It was sad watching them get swept, but like it was so like
not for me,
not
dog.
For you, not for you. But,
I mean, I felt bad because I mean LeBron.
It was just so unfair.
I mean, LeBron, I think, had that Game 1 performance is one of the greatest Finals performances I've ever seen in my life. He had, like, what, 53, a triple-double, like...
It was ridiculous.
I'm looking at that real quick. Sorry, I just need it, because I remember watching that.
Your opinion, what were your feelings in 2016?
I wanted to kill myself. I'm sorry if anyone's, like, sensitive to that, but it's so bad, because I went to a school where everyone was a LeBron fan. Right?
Yeah.
And not even if they were, like, actual basketball fans, they liked LeBron. And I was the only, like, legitimate Warriors fan, right? So, watching that deteriorate over, like, I guess, a series, right? Like, playing so dominant, and, like everything was working. Then, all of a sudden, like, out of nowhere, well, first of all, the Draymond thing, that was absolutely ridiculous. And that's just because of his personality, like, his history, which is not how you should, like treat someone like in a what's it called what's the word reprimanding them, I guess.
Yeah.
And then
you shouldn't hold that against him.
Yeah, right. And if I still believe if Draymond was never ejected, we win Game 6. But
God damn it.
Yeah. So I guess we can wrap this up. But sorry, I just want to say real quick.
We need to speed things up a little bit.
Yeah. I want to talk about LeBron's performance real quick, bro.
We could do a part 2.
I mean, it's fine.
I don't care about
Just 51 points. That's all I really wanted to see.
I just want to do like a quick discussion before you go to the Westerns. If Curry wins the finals, gets his 4th ring, and has final MVP, does that put him in the top 10 players of all time?
Yeah. I don't see what else could. I mean, he's the all-time leading 3-point shooter. He's the greatest shooter no matter what. His numbers, his name is getting up that all-time points list so fast.
I think it leaves him at like 8 to 10 area.
Which I mean, that's totally acceptable.
Which is still absolutely.
And he still has a couple more years to go. I mean, he's in his prime right now.
How old is he? Like 32, 33?
I can tell you.
I know he's in his 30s.
He is 34. He's older.
34.
He's older,
but
his style of play, I mean...
It's not... His style of play isn't so physically demanding.
I mean, yeah, he does drive to the paint a lot and do a lot of scoring off the glass, but, I mean, even still, like... I think, will he be greatest point guard of all time? That's a question we'll have to ask at the end of his career, because you can't say that yet. Because that's exactly, Magic is just... But I'll talk about the Western Conference Finals.
It's not that much of a discussion.
Yeah. So we had a 5-game set with the Warriors and the Mavericks, ending with a 4-1 Golden State Warriors victory. Each game, honestly, pretty... There was never really a close game, you know? It was any game the only game that the Mavs won, it was just because the Warriors were just playing awful. Yeah. Like, they couldn't get any shots to go. I think Steph shot abysmal. I think the whole team shot bad. But then, any game that the Warriors played somewhat decent, kind of a blowout to an extent. You know.
Do you think there's too many blowouts this playoffs?
Yeah, this playoff hasn't been that exciting.
A lot of people have been saying because the emergence of like how dominant the 3-point line is.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw an idea. You know Colin Cowherd, right?
Yeah.
He brought the idea of taking away the corners. So like instead of like an arch, it's like an umbrella kind of thing.
That's
Where
interesting.
you can still have threes, but it also helps out centers, so they have like stuff, and you can still hit like people like Curry will still get his threes.
Yeah,
It
but
makes
who?
it
But
so you-
Curry doing a corner three, turning around
It's
with
just
the other
so
bench.
hard to defend the entire 3-point
Yeah,
arc.
I get it.
Like that's why.
I think instead just
that's
make the courts
how-
bigger and bring them back. Bring the 3-point line back.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna lower percentages. You know, it's gonna a lot of people can shoot from beyond the 3-point line and
Like,
pretty
shit,
well
even
on.
Some centers can shoot threes now.
Yeah, but I think if you move back the 3-point line like a pretty substantial amount, nothing crazy, you know, not like 5 feet back. Like that's a lot.
Like 2 or 3 feet.
Yeah, maybe not even 3, you know? Like, maybe 2 feet. That's going to change a lot of numbers, you know? You still have guys like Steph, Dame, KD, Kyrie, all these guys who are just shooters. They're still going to make these shots, you know, because they shoot that far no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
But there is going to be a noticeable difference around the league if that happens.
Yeah.
But I don't know the numbers like that, so I can't say, like, if that would be the best decision, you know?
Yeah.
But,
So let's go ahead and preview the finals. Our Zoom timer is currently running.
we got
out
time.
there.
We got time.
But let's just preview. It starts Thursday
Mhm.
in Golden State and Do they play
San
in
Francisco.
Fran?
Yeah,
They play
right
in
down the
San
street from the Giants baseball field.
Who suck? I'm kidding.
Yeah, we do. We won last night, but it's
Let's
bad.
go Yankees. Let's go for best team in the MLB.
They are.
I don't watch baseball, so I don't.
They
know
are,
anything
though.
about it, but they are. So. Anyway, really good series. So excited to watch it.
I'm afraid.
You're afraid?
Yeah,
What are your thoughts going in?
I
as
think
a
the
Warriors
matchup
perspective?
is perfect from top down. You know, there's
It's
no.
two small teams.
Mhm.
kind
And
of.
with like, I don't know. I don't know, man. I have a lot of confidence in this team. I mean, there was a point this year where we kind of had like a really kind of a dip that scared me.
Yeah.
But it's been the up and up ever since. I mean, we're still a good team. Like we can't forget that who we have on this team. Like we have Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins, who he's playing his role fantastic now, you know.
Yeah.
And you got Jordan Poole, who can still just so much. We have so much depth on the team that I'm confident.
No.
But it's also the fact of how good this Boston team is. The only thing I can
They're
back
so
on
good.
is that they're young, and that is giving me a lot of confidence.
Rookie
Rookie head coach.
But
But a
that
lot of
hasn't
experience.
slowed
A
him
lot
down.
of experience too. Him.
Yeah,
Ume.
so much
I can't say his name.
his
Ume.
last name, but Ume. He has a lot of experience.
A lot of
But just
experience, but-
not a lot of head coaching
Mhm.
experience.
And it's also this team. All I can say to myself to relax me is that they're young, and that's not convincing enough. You know, because that's when you know you gotta be worried. Because
Also,
just saying they're
another-
young isn't a lot.
Another thing leaning towards the Celtics' favor is that Tatum has been inconsistent in the playoffs. At least in every series he has 2-ish games where he just shoots 3 for 16.
Mm-hmm.
It has 12 points. You can't do that in the finals.
You can't,
The
especially against the
will make
Warriors.
You pay for that.
And especially because the Warriors, the Celtics are good, but they're really one guy. You know, Jason Tatum is your dude.
Jaylen Brown?
No, that's what I'm about to get to. He's not. Don't be wrong. Jason Tatum's your dude, and they've learned that throughout this year that he's the guy you got to fall back on, right? You still got Jaylen Brown. You still got Marcus Smart. You still got even Al Horford, who was a dog for a lot of this playoffs. But
And Al Horford, if he gets a ring.
yeah, but if Jason Tatum falls off for a game, the Warriors team is so deep
Yeah.
and has so many guys who all playoff have been on fire. You know, say Steph not have a good game, put Jordan Poole for more minutes, makes up for it, right?
Yeah.
Clay doesn't have a good game, put Jordan Poole in for more minutes.
Steph have a bad game. Has he had a bad game all
I don't think so. I think he's been pretty good. I mean, he won the West Conference Finals MVP, the Magic Johnson Award. as is now known.
Congrats to Magic Johnson and Larry
Yep,
Bird for
yep.
getting their awards.
Yep, they deserve it
They definitely deserve it. Michael Jordan will have an award eventually.
for sure. He should be the Finals MVP.
It should be like the Michael Jordan regular season MVP, like the Kia MVP.
Yeah, you're right. It should.
Like,
it should. It
he's
should.
like the best one of like top one. I don't know. My personal opinion, LeBron's the best player of all time. But we're not gonna get into that discussion right
We don't have time.
now. That's a long
Yeah.
conversation.
But I think that this Warriors team is, unless an injury happens, it's over.
Yeah.
Because I mean, who knows? Who knows? But I feel like this Warriors team is so just it's a well-oiled machine, and they didn't put anything into the team that detrimentally changes it. The Jordan Poole situation, a little nerve-wracking midway through when they're trying to figure out what to do with him and Clay, but it's already worked out. You know, they kind of both realized we're here to win a chip.
Plus, you got Game 6 Clay to back up.
Got Game 6 Clay back up, and we have Andrew Wiggins we added to the team, who's been playing his role great. Kevon Looney, I've always rated Kevon Looney really high, but now recently he's finally starting to get that recognition because
you guys also have a star center, James White.
Who's been hurt.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. I'm afraid what happens to Kevon after that. Because I don't think he want to be a bench player.
James Wiseman is going to be a bust.
I don't know. I mean, when he played, he was so good. He was so good. It's just a lot of players start off.
Never stayed healthy his entire.
Look at Joel Embiid, his start of his career. He didn't play for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he starts playing, best center in the league, arguably. Arguably. That's what arguably.
I know
arguably.
You think he's the best center in the league, but the MVP would say otherwise.
I know. But so yeah, that's just. I think this is gonna be a really fun series to watch. I think it'll be one of the best finals we've had in a couple years now.
I'm not gonna pick a winner.
I'm not going to either.
I can't.
I mean, I know who I want to win because obviously, but I can't. I don't want to pick it. Because I don't want to be a jinx, and because I want to just be more exciting.
Yeah.
For myself.
I just don't think there's a way to accurately in your mind could know who's gonna win or think who you're gonna win because both teams have. It's a pretty even series.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's even, so even.
All right, let's wrap this up. Thank you for listening. Make sure to follow or subscribe on YouTube. Follow on Twitter and TikTok. We're on iTunes,
Podcasts.
Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify. This man gained 50 years of
it's the playoff stress, bro.
The playoff stress. And have a great day. Thank you for listening and share this with your friends.
Please
We're
do.
always trying to grow, and peace out.
Deuces.